Kono Mulikumbona. Thank you so much for keeping it here on Morning at NTV. Stephen Imbide on Professor Chubuga coming to you on NTV but also online. Yesterday we saw the president speaking, and of course he was addressing the nation on the state of affairs. He said, as he was concluding, that let's work differently. That was his last word. Let's work differently. And I want to look at how differently can Ugandans work, can leaders work in cabinet, in parliament, at local level. And in this should be in reaction to what he was saying. Let me engage the woman member of parliament for Mukono district, also the shadow minister for information and corruption, Honorable Sheila Amanio. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning, viewers. Good Uganda. Good morning, Mukono.
As the opposition, you decided to shun, of course, when you were saying that those who are willing, they can go, but mainly opposition shunned the State of the Nation address. And we were wondering why, because this was key in knowing how the state is moving, and it didn't appear.
And I think we gave our reasons.
Yes, we did.
And
but at least,
obviously, one of the reasons we gave, of course, among others, there was nothing new that was going to be said. And indeed, there was nothing new. What he said at the first sitting of Parliament is the same thing he said even yesterday at the State of Nation address.
And he's saying he's calling rallying Ugandans, rallying you, the leaders, cabinet, work differently. It's Sanja, no sleep, no corruption.
Saying the same things. I mean, there's nothing different he's saying. But for us, our concerns are about having that speech relate to the people. There was nothing that we expected him to say that would relate to the people. In fact, I will break it down one by one, but one of the reasons why, especially we, the National Unity Platform leaders, didn't go is because we have concerns, and these are serious concerns of our people. We are still demanding for political prisoners, people who are still incarcerated in prisons without being aligned in court or being presented. There are people who are still being abducted up to now, especially in my place in Mukono. We still having cases of people abducted. People still call me, they are looking for me. What are we doing? We're in hiding. There are concerns of people's livelihood that has been people's livelihood that has been destroyed. I think we have been seeing these stories, the unfair evictions in the wetlands, the trade order that really disorganized people and put their livelihoods at zero. You know what it means when you have been working in a place for over 5 years and someone comes in 3 weeks and tells you, we want this down. And there's absolutely no solution to that effect. And yet we sit in Parliament and we give big compensations to big factories, big names, big industries. But this small little person, this local person, who is supposed to actually keep the local councils standing because they pay little local revenue to our local councils, has been, pushed away. So for me, there was no relation. The relation between his speech, the pointers in his speech, and the realities of Ugandans, there is a total mismatch. You can't talk about wealth creation, yet you are actually chasing people away from creating wealth. You cannot say you've come up with a new slogan of no Chisanja, no sleep, but Ugandans have been awake. Ugandans have actually been awake.
Well, let me just, if you can pause there. We're talking about Ugandans being awake. Yes, he on his own admission, he's saying that yes, it's partly true that some leaders have been not doing enough rallying these Ugandans. We're talking about who have been awake in getting out of poverty. He brings it back to you, the leaders in parliament, in cabinet, local level, districts, that you haven't done enough. The leaders, where is their responsibility in this?
Actually, I'm happy that in his speech he admitted, and these are things we've been saying, we as, this other side that is supposed to overlook and check the government, that they've been sleeping. Actually, they are the ones who have been sleeping. They are the implementers of their manifestos. 40 years in power of having different manifestos, promising Ugandans a better tomorrow, but there has been no transformation, there has been no results, and now all of a sudden someone is angry with his own leaders that he has been appointing, because McHugh in all these institutions and entities and ministries, the appointments come from him, the heads of those departments, they come from him, the permanent secretaries, the ministers, name it, the presidential advisors. All these come from him. So I think it's a good wake-up call to him. But maybe I also think he's paying attention to what we're saying, because many a time they come out and say, but this is going wrong, the infrastructure is going wrong. And now even in his address he said, I don't know what is happening to the roads that we are constructing, why aren't they permanent? But we have been citing these issues. Where are we having the most expensive NTV Kampala Expressway compared to all other countries? Where are we having the most expensive Lubowa Hospital, which up to now has not yet been launched? And then now, where are we thinking of building at 250? He mentioned a 250 bed hospital for the heart hospital, But our health center 3s and 4s are not functional, and sometimes they have problems with the indicators that people use, that economists use to measure a bit of economic growth, or maybe they look at the structures that, we have built health centers 1, 2, 3 in these districts, therefore we have scored. That
we are moving from least developed countries to lower middle income.
That one is on paper.
As by calculation with the GDP?
That one is on paper. Yes, he mentioned that, we are going to, the economy has grown up to $69.3 US, that we are going, the economic growth is going to, has grown, or we are going to hit a 10% economic growth, that the poverty levels are going to go down by 16.1%. But if you live in Uganda and you traverse Uganda, forget about the CBD, forget about it, move all over Kampala, you'll just smell poverty, sniff poverty, look at poverty, and you'll even wonder how people are surviving.
Well, they are
so for me, there's a mismatch between what is being read, which for me I term it as theory. It's more of theory than addressing the realities.
Well, one reality that is fact is the establishment of these funds, permanent funds from way back from Ntandikwa. Now we even have this another permanent program called the PDM, Parish Development Bundle, Myoga. These programs are keep coming. What's the problem?
It's just he's using different terms to name the same problem, or whatever it is that he's trying to address. From Ntandikwa to Bonabagagawale, to poverty alleviation, to Operation Wealth Creation, to Myoga. It's just different names for the same problem, poverty. So I think...
Where's the missing link when you have these programs and there's nothing, because he says if money is not enough for PDM, 100 million per parish, we can devise ways of maybe cutting budgets for other sectors and maybe increase this so that maybe they empower the people on the ground.
And that's why I keep saying whatever he's read or he's said is theory, it's on paper. Because a state of nation had to be delivered as per the rules of procedure and by the Constitution. It's a mandate that he has to do. So for me, some of these things, I see them as formalities, but the actuality of the realities is totally missed. Yeah, because you cannot tell me you have been doing these funds for 40 years and you're still fighting a problem of poverty. Clearly there's a problem.
Well, next
Clearly
Thursday...
there's a problem. And the problem, the diagnosis he's having for this problem, I think is also a misdiagnosis. Because how can you now say you want to let parish priests ride bicycles in the muddy, bad roads of our country, where our parishes are located? Inaccessible, very remote. And you want them to ride bicycles. If we are in a technological era where we're thinking of electric movement, we are going back to analog to try and monitor billions, actually not millions, billions of money.
Well,
when will that priest traverse all those parishes vis-a-vis the SUVs that they are giving the ministers, the state ministers? What is, when you do a comparison of the cost of the borders or the motorbike you are requesting for vis-a-vis the SUV they are going to give each minister, state minister, plus their escorts. If you look at that cost, really, as someone who's trying to cut costs and, it doesn't add up.
Well, the opposition been part of this budget making process. You were part of the 11th Parliament, but you have the opportunity that you, as Honorable Sheila Mania, you are part of the 12th Parliament, and you are, by virtue of your position, you also speak for the shadow cabinet. Yesterday, you didn't attend as opposition, the State of the Nation address, but next Thursday is a presentation of the budget. Have you discussed shining again or being part of this ceremony? Because, yes, you were part of the budget process.
Yeah, but again, I think before we even swore in as a 12th Parliament, the alternative, the opposition had an alternative budget where we expressed our concerns, disagreed with the budget that they are going to read. It does not reflect the lives of Ugandans. There is no, it's first of all, it's extravagant. It's extremely extravagant, and it does not address the concerns of citizens.
That's 84 budget.
Right? Yes. For example, the rising cost of living, there's unemployment. No, it doesn't. I don't see it addressing it. Yeah, because you cannot tell me you only budget 1 million for a farmer. Yeah, and but then you're considering. I'm forgetting the figure that they've put for farmers in the development banks. They'll help me confirm that figure that they've put for the development banks. So definitely going to be a gap. There's going to be a gap between the rich and the poor. Because the proportions that you're allocating are not realistic. The majority are the poor, but you're giving them peanuts. Yeah.
But I know, when you talk about these farmers, one of the factors that enable their production and sale returns out of their produce is infrastructure, and you already talked about it. The president yesterday was saying that, you know what, if the 3 billion shillings that is allocated to the district is not enough, we can devise means and maybe increase money, and you are part of it.
It's actually laughable because money is not there. At least a preview to being in certain departments where, these allocations are done. There's rationing of allocation money, and that's a fact. And everybody who is in that Ministry of Finance knows that there is no money. The President will come and give his position. We are increasing PDM money from 100 million to 200 million, you heard the other day. But in actuality, that money is not there. That's why I keep saying this is on paper, this is theory. So you'll realize that in the actual disbursement, in fact, if you realize in his speech, sorry to take you back, in his speech, that the previous speech of the first sitting, he was referring to 800 million that has been given to each parish. But then he corrected it yesterday and said, oh no, I'm told it is 400 million because there was money missing, they had to do some bit of rationing, and that's exactly what's going to happen again in this financial year, in this 5-year term of the president. So if you've been for most local governments, are underfunded. Actually, local governments are underfunded. And this is where service delivery actually takes place. You find even the 1 billion, you've said 3 billion, but for me, for the road fund, what I know is it's 1 billion.
Someone could have communicated to him less figure?
I don't know where he gets his figures from, but when you go to local governments, it's what actually trickles down. And that is very little money for the kilometers of roads. Okay,
finally, maybe is the issue of corruption and abuse of office. Is talking about that this is going not. There would be a tolerance for. He has been so lenient. Now this time he's going to be very active on fighting corruption. Even yesterday, we saw some officials from OPM being arrested, and even further. You are the Shadow Minister of Corruption. What is your final message to them?
For me, there's no will for this government to fight corruption. Because if there was a will, we want accountability for corruption scandals. What have they done for coming out and fishing out the few, and exposing them? What do they are after? What happened to them is they find that they have, accounted to them that this is the amount of money that they have stolen. Where are they? Are they actually in prison? What we hear, they're under arrest, they've been taken to CID to be interrogated. I think the only one, 4 cases of people have been just arrested, maybe just to calm us down. This government, how to manage.
What do you want him to do exactly?
So I want him to go head on, whoever is part of the scandal and has been named to be brought to book and to be going from there and taken back to the consolidated, and we have accountability of what has been collected from corruption scams, because we already had trillion. we are 10 trillion that has been alluded to corruption. But if we're able to recover that 10 trillion through the assets and name it, we should be able to translate money into other activities.
Thank you so much, Honorable Sheila Mani, the woman member of Parliament for Mukono District, but also the Shadow Minister for Information and Corruption. Julia Odele, you can have the microphone for me. You give us what's happened from where you are.
Yes, good morning to our viewers and good morning to our team at the studio. My name is Odele Kenneth. Here in Soroti, yesterday we had the State of the address delivered by the President. I had a panel of analysts yesterday who gave us their views on what they expected from President's speech. And today I'm here back with the LOC5 chairperson of Soroti District and the Civil Society representative, Executive Director for Public Affairs Center of Uganda. So, Honorable Bob Owing, what do you make of the President's address that we sent yesterday?
Most, I would thank the President performing his mandatory duty of addressing the nation in the now SONA State of the Nation address. However, because of time, my expectation and my wish now is that the President must direct his speech as he talks about socio-economic transformation through the PDM, the restocking, and other government programs, which is okay. He should also focus the speech on two major things. One is health. 3 is education. 3, road. Why? How much we invest money in PDM, in restocking, and all this. People are poor because when it comes to health, for us here in Iteso, if you got another, God forbid, the cost of you going for treatment is like 15 million. It means that whatever you have PDM from restocking can be used in one event of an accident treatment. Therefore, government must focus. The President must now start to focus.
From Lira City. Right now, we are standing at Lira Regional Referral Hospital here in Lira City. And this morning, we are looking at the Ebola emergency preparedness on Uganda's northern corridor. And I'm happy and privileged to have my 3 guests. And standing next to me is Mr. Bonnie Okelale, who is representing the Resident City Commissioner, Lira City. And next to him is Dr. Bernard Otusu, who is the Health Officer, Lira City.
Correct.
And to my extreme left is Dr.
Ronald
Misindi, who is representing the Lira Regional Director here. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome to this discussion. We're not going to take long. Bonnie Okello, you're representing the Resident City Commissioner.
Yes.
Can you take us through this emergency of Ebola?
Good morning, Uganda. I want to take this opportunity to assure people of Uganda that Lira City is still safe. As the chair of the Ebola Task Force, Lira City, we have held several meetings and we have come with about 7 pillars that will enable us to have this engagement and also prevention. Aware that Lira City is a commercial city, but also is a transit hub. We have so many visitors who transit via Lira City, and we have those who come from Kenya getting to probably Sudan, Congo. So we have a reason to be prepared. We have a reason to put all the mechanism in place. And as the office of the RCC Lira City, we are doing all it takes together with the technical team in ensuring that all our preparedness is in order and we are ready to respond. The fact that we are still safe and we don't still have Ebola cases, it does not make us relax to feel that we don't have what to do. So as we talk now, we have put all the teams that are on task, but most importantly is informing the masses, sensitizing the people on preventive measures in how we can get Ebola out of Uganda, but major of all, safe in Lira City.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bonnie.
Thank you.
Dr. Bernard, tell us how you're prepared.
Thank you so much, viewers. Again, I mentioned that I'm Dr. Bernard, the Security Officer for Lira City. I want to pick up where my RCC had just stopped. I want to emphasize that under the very, very able leadership of the Resident City Commissioner, Lira City has been able to reactivate the task force for the city, in this case the Ebola Task Force, And we are working very, very much in collaboration with our partners, and most importantly, Lira Region Faro, to make sure that we are prepared and are able to respond to the possibility of Ebola outbreak in the city. I want to mention that whereas the RCC has talked about the 7 pillars, I want to give some more detail into this. I want to say, number one, we have activated our rapid response team, and as a part of that, in collaboration with in regards to the 7 pillars, we have ensured that our surveillance team is immediately active. And the surveillance team here, there is both the community surveillance and facility-based surveillance. We have had our health workers trained and oriented. We are planning to engage the community team, that's the VHTs and the CHUs, next week, so that they will be able to help us be able to pick any signals within the community so that we can be able to investigate them accordingly. Two, we have also activated the risk communication arm of our response. Right now, as I talk, there's a team on radio which is mobilizing the community, teaching them about Ebola, the risks and the signs, so that they will alert us should any incidences, suspect arise. We also have the community arm, like I said, the VHs and the CHUs, who have already been informed about this, who are helping us about into mobilization. We are in the process of reaching out to all the hotel owners so that we will be able to pick out all visitors coming from high-risk districts in this country, in the city, but also those who may be coming out from Congo or Southern Sudan, so that we can be able to have a good and keen look at them while we track them. I also want to add the other pillar which we already activated is the case management team. In that regard, we have established holding spaces in all our health centers, so that should we be able to realize any suspected cases, we are able to isolate them and investigate them. Eventually, should we confirm any case, we have also, in collaboration with the regional power, been able to identify a space in one of our facilities to serve as our isolation unit. So we are very, very prepared to handle any cases should they be able to come. I wanted to also add, in addition to surveillance, we also have our laboratory, which is the fourth pillar. And all our laboratory members have been oriented on Ebola. They know how to take the samples and process them. We are working collaboratively with the regional Faro in hope that should we pick samples, should have a turnaround time of not more than 24 hours.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Bennett. Let's hear from Dr. Misindi, Lira Regional Referral Officer in the Center of Health in Lango Sub-Region. How prepared are you?
Thank you very much, the moderator. Good morning, Uganda. I want to thank the Ministry of Health for being alert and on top of this response and control the spread of Ebola. As a region, we are very prepared to handle this outbreak and also to control. So far, we've had only one suspect, and the results turned out to be negative, and at least we are safe as per now. I want to thank the city, the RCC's office, the city health officer, for the coordination they have showed. So far, as a region and all the districts, the 9 districts and the 1 city in Lango sub-region, they have all activated their district task forces and the city task force, and they are ready to respond. Now we are in alert mode. In case of anything, we are able to respond. So at the moment, at the regional referral hospital, we have also activated internally our mechanisms, and we have activated our isolation center. We can hold someone in case is suspected or meets the case definition of Ebola, that is a fever, high fever, and bleeding, or any other sign. So we are able to hold them as we remove the sample, and then at least the turnaround time is good. We are in 24 hours, less than 24 hours for the results to come back. And as I speak right now, we have a dedicated ambulance that can transport a suspect or a confirmed case up to the National Treatment Center in Mulago. So right now we are only treating Ebola in Mulago. But what I can say is we are very alert. We are picking up any rumor any alert from the community. We have alerted our community mechanism, that is VHTs and the community health workers. Now they know the case definition of Ebola.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mesinde. Those are my guests this morning. Thank you so much for coming, sparing your time, for being with us this morning live on NTV. That was Dr. Mesinde, representing the Director of Health Center here, this facility. Dr. Bernard Oyoko,
Otucho.
Dr. Bernard Otucho, the Health